So what motivated David to kill Goliath? Why did he kill Goliath? What was the motivation? I know because some of you know the end of the story or the bigger picture. You already know the answer, but let me look at some of the tiny scriptures that we skip as we read the passage. So Jesse sends him to go and check his brothers in 1 Samuel chapter 17. And David finds them, in this predicament. Verse 26 says, "And David said to the men who stood by, what shall be done for the man who kills this Philistine and takes away the reproach from Israel? For who is this uncircumcised Philistine that he should defy the armies of the living God?" So notice that when David gets into the camp, he asks two questions. The first question, what shall be done? So the first question asks for a reward, and then the second question is more of a rhetorical question. It is more of a spiritual question, which many people believe that this is the motivation of why David killed Goliath, because of his love for God. I do not doubt that. But I want to address this first question. Why does it come first? Why did David first ask for a reward? What shall be done for a man who killed this? Why does David ask for a reward? Now he gets the reward, he gets the response, and everybody answered him. Actually, the response is expounded in verse 25. Notice that the person who kills Goliath shall get great riches, and will also be given Saul's daughter. So I believe that the primary motivation for David was Saul's daughter. Notice that it appears that he doesn't even get, he's surprised by the response. So I'm going to get it. So he's going to be given Saul's daughter. And so he asked the question again in verse 30. "And he turned away from him to one another and spoke in the same way, and the people answered him again as before." So David asked this question twice. So what shall be given? So Saul's daughter, are you guys really serious? But do you think David would have killed Goliath just for a woman? Do you think David would have killed a giant? Would you kill a giant just to get a wife or to get a woman? Well, unfortunately, David doesn't get the wife. As you know, he killed this giant Goliath, but didn't get a wife. Saul tricked him. But even though Saul tricked him, he still wanted him as his son-in-law, and so he presents him with another offer. So he gives him this his second daughter, Michal, but he presents him with an offer. So there's kind of like lobola negotiations. Sorry, the Bible calls it. Let me check what my version says. uSawule wathi niyakusho kanje kuDavid nithi inkosi ayifuni ilobola. So yeah, it's lobola negotiations. So verse 25, the English version calls it the bride price. I guess that's what it's called in English. And then Saul said, "Thus shall you say to David, the king desires no bride price except 100 foreskins of the Philistines, that he may be avenged for the king's enemies." So Saul says here, David, just give me 100 dead soldiers, and then I'll give you my daughter. Now notice David's response, "And it pleased David well to be the king's son-in-law before the time expired." So David loved the idea to kill 100 soldiers and get the wife. So verse 27, "And David arose and went along with his men and killed 200 of the Philistines, and David brought their foreskins, which were given in full number to the king." I like the emphasis there, that he might become the king's son-in-law. And Saul gave him his daughter Michal for a wife. So Saul's trick didn't work. Notice that in verse 25, now Saul thought to make David fall by the hand of the Philistines. So So Saul didn't want lobola, but he wanted 100 dead soldiers. They always worry of people who do not want lobola for their daughter. There's a hidden agenda. That's what I'm getting from this verse. Saul wanted David dead, but he didn't die. In fact, very interesting to note that David, he was asked to kill 100 soldiers, but he killed 200. Now he doubled the price he was charged. Very interesting. A challenge for men here: don't just pay for what you are charged or what is negotiated. If possible, double the price of lobola. And if you want to be like David, show that you are a man. Very interesting. Great lesson to get from David. So David was asked to kill 100, but he killed 200. What is my conclusion? So I believe David would have killed. If David killed 200 when he was asked to kill 100 just to get Saul's daughter, I believe that David would have killed Goliath or that giant just to get Saul's daughter, the first daughter of Saul. that he was promised. So I don't know, but there might be another higher divine motivation for David to have killed Goliath. But from my general reading of the scripture, I think David's motive, I think God used David's motivation to deliver his people. Yeah. So I'll do another video explaining why I think David should not have killed Goliath. Stay tuned.